The Aston Stealth. There it is. Look at it. It wouldn't look out of place in a ninja's knapsack. All sleek and stylish and black and stealthy. There it is. It looks good. I like it. I think it looks the business. It's got a metal body, but the top parts are plastic and the bottom parts are plastic. And as the camera comes down the metal body here, you will see at the bottom damage to the little turny wheel thing down at the bottom. Little nick out of the plastic there. Not sure how that happened because it came right out of the box just like that. I imagine if I'd complained about it, Aston would have given me a new one. They're super lovely people. But it doesn't affect the sound in any way whatsoever. The box that it comes in is equally lovely, although it does not have any kind of hard case option, or sometimes you get like a little, like a little wooden case or something. Not so here. Keeps the cost down, I suppose. On the side of the box, it tells you what you're getting. It tells you that you're getting 4 different voices, 4 different microphones not really, but 4 different styles of mic built into one body. And it does work really well. You've got V1, V2, G, and D. V1 is for male vocals, V2 for female vocals, and G is for guitar, and D is for dark, which is meant to emulate a ribbon microphone. And it works pretty well. For my purposes and for this review, whenever I come to test the microphone itself, I will be predominantly interested in the V1 and V2 settings because I'm interested in this as a content creator's microphone, as a podcaster's microphone. I'm a voiceover artist. This is what I do. So I'm interested in it as a microphone for spoken word only. I'll let you hear what the G setting sounds like and the D setting sounds like, but that's not what this is about. The most unique thing about this, I think, is the fact that it has a built-in preamp already in the microphone. So 48 volts can be supplied to it, and the preamp will take it and amplify the signal by an amazing 50 dB, which is way more than you'll get with a cloud lifter or that sort of thing. What a lot of content creators might have come across is when they've bought themselves a shiny new broadcast microphone, they're not getting enough gain out of it, so they add in a cloud lifter or a FET head, a kind of a gain boosting insert into their signal chain. You don't need it with this, not with this. It's got an internal shock mount, which makes things nice and easy as well, and it's got a whole unique mounting system, and we'll look at that in a little bit more detail in a second. But here we go, removing the sleeve, you've got a lovely Aston Microphones logo and the art of audio on the side. I do like this. I like it whenever you buy a new microphone or a phone or something like that, and the packaging is all, it makes you feel special, like you've bought a premium product. And right enough, this thing does feel like a premium product. On the inside there, you have got a little message welcoming you to the Aston family, proclaiming to be your new baby. Would not go that far, but there we are. That's what it is. You also get the user manual type thing on the inside here. The owner's handbook, should I say. It's an owner's handbook that is for all of the microphones in the Aston family. The Origin and the Stealth and the Spirit and the Starlight microphones. There they are. And there's my friend's dog, by the way. My friend actually has the Starlight microphones, swears by them, loves them, but that's his dog. Anyway, Aston microphone sticker there. It's lovely, it's shiny. Stickers. Inside you get a plastic bag with the microphone in it. And that's Bella getting her nose in the way again. It's okay, yeah, fine. It's a plastic wrap around it. Inside I was amused to see that it asked me to take a pee. Take a pee. Obviously it's meant to say take a peek, but we can't see the K. So we are instructed, in fact, to take a pee. So there we go. You could argue that a microphone this heavy, etc., should have some kind of styrofoam insert at least, or something to... But no, I think the packaging was fine. Certainly the packaging wasn't damaged whenever I opened it. But as you can see, whether it was like this fresh out of the factory, and I have to admit this was given to me by Aston Microphones, so maybe they're giving out versions that weren't acceptable for sale to reviewers and that sort of thing, and that's why I got a damaged one. I'm not bothered. It sounded absolutely beautiful. I'm going to give the microphone back in a couple of weeks anyway, but there you go. You can see the damage at the bottom. Not too bad. The switch at the bottom I did not like. Sorry, Aston. I think this is an absolute nightmare of an idea. You can twist this dial and it goes in between the various settings. What I did find was sometimes it doesn't quite find the right setting. Sometimes it's difficult to turn. Admittedly, I was turning it the wrong way there. You're supposed to grip it in a very particular way, but you don't find that out until you open the package later on and it shows you the instructions on how to turn the dial, which is a bit odd. Underneath here, you've got a little button, and the button turns on the light at the bottom of the Stealth, which activates when phantom power is supplied. You need phantom power if you want to activate that internal preamp and give yourself the extra 50 dB of boost. So you'll want to know if that's on or not before you turn your preamp on or before you put your headphones on, deafen yourself. So there's a nice little light at the bottom there activated by that switch. In the rest of the packaging here, where we're told to take a peek finally, not a pee, and we open this up, this is where you can see the instructions telling you how you're supposed to turn the dial, which is a bit crazy when you think about it, being told how to turn a dial. And a lapel pin if you want to tell everybody how to that you're part of the Aston family. And this is the mounting system rather. Plastic, but very, very dense plastic. In it goes. Then obviously it hooks onto your microphone stand. It's pretty good. It's fine. I like it. I think it works. Bella agrees as well, so there she is. It's pretty solid. It is made of plastic though, so maybe long term that would be an issue, but certainly as long as I've been using it, it's absolutely grand. And it's me picking minimal faults with what is a lovely looking microphone, lovely feeling microphone, and as you'll find out later on, a pretty lovely sounding microphone as well. So, as I wrap things up, let's listen to position V1 for male voices. And here we are using position V1. A V1 on the Aston mic. I am using the internal preamp as well, so I have that turned on. And I'm going to have to maybe compensate for volume and things like that whenever I'm going to upload this. But I'm not going to add any extra processing. This is the microphone raw, straight into my Audient ID4 interface. No preamp section, no outboard gear, no compressors, no nothing. This is raw audio being recorded directly in, and so I'm comparing it in its worst possible light, I suppose, without any processing whatsoever, and I think it still sounds pretty darn good. It sounds like a broadcast microphone. It sounds like a male voice on the radio is meant to sound right out of the box. Now you can add extra fizz to this with some EQ and some compression and processing, and it will sound the absolute business. It's a good microphone. It's absolutely undeniable. I am talking right down the barrel of this microphone, and I am doing so with a pop filter as well, because I noticed if you don't have a pop filter, this thing is extremely sensitive to plosives, even though it's meant to be a head-on address microphone like this. The actual inbuilt piece of foam at the top that covers up the mic element is not, the diaphragm should I say, it's not going to reduce very many of the plosives, put it that way. Let's move on to V2 for female voices. Now what you might have heard there is a little hiss and a pop as I moved it round. As you move the switch, there is a dead area between the settings, between V1 and V2, and you will get static interference through your monitors or through your headphones if you are changing it whilst it's live, which I presume would not happen if it was just a simple switch. But hey, there you go. So we're now on to V2 for female vocals. You'll notice a volume boost. That is because, generally speaking, although not always, spoken female word is quieter. Female voices tend to talk quieter, or at least their voices tend to not carry as much, so they need a dB boost on it to match it. Now, obviously everyone's different, so that won't be the case for everybody, but in general, that's the way it is. There's also a lot more response in the top end of this microphone, designed to capture the sort of the nuances of the female voice, and there's less of a bump down in the bottom end, which would be designed to flatter a male voice. So this mode, obviously you can't really tell my voice, but it's perfectly good. Position G then. Position G, I will not talk very long on this. Again, the volumes come right back down again. You would probably, if you were using this, actually turn the preamp off and just have it as a dynamic microphone right up against the guitar amp cabinet, that kind of thing. That's where the versatility of this microphone comes in. You can select whether or not it has its gain boosted or not, and you can put it right up against a amp cabinet, and it will sound great. But on my voice, you can't really tell. But that's not what this review is all about. This is, the guitar setting. Make of this what you will. We will move on from the guitar setting to the dark setting, which is for D. Or D is for dark, but it's for like a ribbon microphone style thing. To be honest, I'm not sure I would buy this straight out of the box as a guitar microphone. I do play a bit of guitar myself. I would maybe look elsewhere. But if you do podcasting and guitars, yeah, maybe. Position D then, dark mode. And dark mode, you can hear it sounds like I am under a blanket. Obviously, it's not meant for broadcast. That's not what this is for. So this is a fairly unfair representation of what you're getting. You might be thinking, why would I ever use the dark setting? Well, against, very sibilant sounds, like maybe cymbals on a drum kit, that sort of thing. There are reasons why you would use a ribbon-style microphone, and therefore this would be a little bit of an extra tool in your locker should you need it. So there's always a use for every kind of thing, but that is what we've got going for the dark setting. Let's go back to V1. What I notice sometimes when I am switching between positions, it doesn't always stick in the position you want. And I've had moments where I thought the microphone's just gone dead, and I've been checking the cable and that sort of thing because that switch did not land in the right place. It makes it look more stealthy and sleek. So it has been a design choice for the aesthetic reasons, not for practical reasons. But hey, if you're a YouTuber and you're on a stream and you want your gear to look good on the stream, I don't think there's a microphone out there that looks better than the Aston Stealth. And the way it's designed to be mounted so it doesn't even need a shock mount to go around it, you can show this thing off on your stream and it will sound, to my ears anyway, just as good as the slightly more expensive Shure SM7B or an RE20 for that matter. So it's great for broadcast. Would I use it as my voiceover microphone? Bearing in mind that that's what I do for a living. I record audiobooks. I'm a voiceover artist. No. That's not what this is for. They might claim that this works in the studio for singing and all that kind of stuff, maybe for backing vocals in a very specific scenario. If I wanted to record lots of detail in the voice, I would be using a large diaphragm condenser. If I was recording an audiobook or a voiceover, I would probably be using my MKH416, which is what I will switch back to now for my final thoughts on this microphone. Final thoughts then, I'm back to my normal setup, which includes outboard gear and a Sennheiser MKH416. This is a much more high-end solution for this sort of thing, and not necessarily for a YouTuber or a broadcaster. Would I recommend the Aston Stealth microphone if you are a streamer or a broadcaster or a podcaster? Yes. If you can get that microphone close to you when you are speaking and use it like a dynamic microphone should be used, which is reasonably close to the source, then yes, absolutely. If you are having to speak further away, then no, I go for a shotgun microphone, that kind of thing. But this microphone, I could absolutely see this being used in professional podcasting setups anywhere and not being out of place. Plus, it looks the absolute business. So there are worse things you could spend your £300 on, or $299 or whatever the retail price is for this these days. But yeah, there it is, the Aston Stealth.